Why are so few people wealthy? It's quite simple. They keep winning the financial game while most don't even realize they're playing, much less how to win. Is this worth my time? Well, only if you want to win the wealth game. Copy those controlling 90% of all wealth because it works. No guessing, it works, so act on it. No cost to evaluate it, no expertise needed, proven track record, expertly validated, lowers your risk of failure. It's in the IRS code. Meet future financial needs. And you've seen this in multiple books, documentaries, news, and TV shows. So the information's out there. The $1,000,000 question. What's in it for me? What's the benefit? Your life has opportunity and risk. Wealth is the value you create and keep over time. The opportunity is to increase or preserve it. The risk is losing that wealth or not getting it. The best answer grows and preserves it unending. I ID those risks and answer those at no cost or obligation to you. Success takes immediate action on your plan and then working smart for a better life as your plan does its work. My name is Mark Harrison. I want to thank you for watching up to this point, and we encourage you to continue. This isn't a do-it-all-yourself video, but a no-cost path to success you can start today. I encourage you to click the like button, subscribe, share a link to this video. It's no cost, no obligation, just a clear path to preserve and build your wealth. The evidence. 10% of the people have over 90% of the wealth. 1% have over half of that. What's left? 2 out of 3 will never be debt-free. 3 out of 4 will experience a bankruptcy, business failure, or foreclosure, losing over half of everything they've got. Most investors lose more than half of their lifetime growth potential to market losses, taxation, investment costs, and their own investor behavior. What are the risks to your wealth? You can Google these, they're well documented, but it's taxation, market losses, insufficient immediate cash flow, critical and chronic care, disability, premature death and outliving your savings, general medical expenses, legal cost, bad debt versus good debt, college debt or educational cost, uninsured or insufficient insurance for preventable losses, inadequate planning for retirement risks, theft, bad influence, mistakes, or neglect of your wealth by yourself or someone else. What are the greatest opportunities to build wealth? Now, you can Google these, they're well established, but statistics show it's real estate, business ownership, common stock or ownership in other businesses, bonds, control of needed resources or services like gold, silver, oil, transportation, food, beverage, retail, tech, manufacturing, healthcare, the things that people need for life and security. Then there's wealth transfer from others or inheritance. Now, taxes. The highest historic rate was 94%. 90% of history, taxes have been higher than they are now. The U.S. debt to GDP is the highest ever at 140.57%. Total debt, liabilities, and derivatives are all higher than all prior years combined at 4.45 times more than all U.S. assets. Biden has pledged to almost double that debt. Our taxes are going up? No doubt. How high and how soon is the question. This is a graphic illustration of those federal tax rates showing we're at some of the lowest rates in history. It doesn't even take into account the last tax cut under Trump, so it's even more dramatic considering that. This graph shows the averages, the effect of losses on real dollars. If you look down at the bottom in blue, that's the losses. And the green at the top shows the corresponding gain needed just to get back to where you were. So in the middle there, a 50% loss would take a subsequent 100% gain just to get back to where you were. So an example, if you had 4 quarters, you had a 50% loss, you're down to 2. So if you had a 50% increase, it'd only bring you up to an additional quarter. You would need a 100% gain to get back to 4 quarters. So an example of here, a 90% loss would take a corresponding 900% gain. So again, the effect on real dollars is dramatic because you're losing principal. So when you hear these averages, what you can get in the stock market, they're not factoring in real dollars and the effect these losses have on those dollars. You probably recognize this person. This is Warren Buffett, the greatest investor in world history. And he's got two rules of investing. Number one, never lose money. Rule number two, don't ever forget rule number one. So he knows a little bit about making money and keeping money, and he has a very sound advice. At the top, you see the decades of losses where investors would have taken 10 years plus of losses from 29 to 38, 65 to 79, 2000 to 2009. With S&P pre-crash alone in 1929, investors would have taken 55 years to recover to get back to where they were. So again, follow the greatest investor in world history, his advice: don't lose your money. This is a quote from Ben Franklin, one of the founders of our country. Individual investors should be more interested in the return of their money than the return on their money. That's sound advice. Now, critical and chronic care, not gambling with your future. 3 out of 4, 75%, will experience a critical illness, which is a cause or contributor of most mortgage foreclosures, business failures, or bankruptcies, and a loss of over 50% of your worth. Even though 75% of those folks had health insurance, so that wasn't the full answer. The difference between good debt and bad debt. Good debt has a lower interest or cost than the other earnings you have, so your wealth grows. Bad debt has a higher interest or higher cost than your other earnings, so your wealth is lost. The risk of bad debt versus good debt. You have that lost opportunity for building wealth, mental anguish because you're a slave to the lender, constrained cash flow. You're funding someone else's American dream while you're missing out on yours. Now, college debt. A 4-year degree now costs more than the average home, and it's supposed to double by 2026. Then it's 6 years to graduate and 10 years to pay it all off. A graph of non-housing debt, and it's going straight up. Household debt, including mortgage, auto loans, credit cards, student loans, and look, straight up. This is a graph of federal debt. Just like the other graphs, over the years, the debt has just gone straight up. So the combination of consumer debt and now the government debt, all this is burden on wealth building and your future unless you plan for it. Albert Einstein: the most powerful force in the universe is compound interest. Those that understand it earn it, those who don't pay it. So the question is that powerful force working in your favor to build wealth or against you? Now we're going to concentrate on retirement risks. Now, obviously, the idea here is remove this retirement risk, you can guarantee income. First, longevity risk. That's a risk of outliving your sustainable income. Withdrawal rate risk. That's a risk of withdrawing at a rate that's unsustainable. Secrets of return risk. That's the risk of a down market in the early years of your retirement. Then there's general market risk of market losses. There's income tax risk, the effect that taxes will have on your retirement. And again, the idea here is that you control these risks, which affect the amount of money you have, the amount of income you have, or how soon your money is going to run out. Again, this is Mark Harrison. This is my family. But what I'm telling you is you need to have a plan. You need to act on it and then get back to work. You know, life happens. Success takes immediate action on your plans, not working harder, but smarter. Again, these are the risks we talked about earlier to wealth. You've got to get in control of these to build wealth and preserve your wealth. These are the greatest opportunities to build wealth. We ran through these earlier, but you've also got to look at the cash flow to be able to support these and maintain these so you can maximize the opportunities without them turning into a nightmare. You have to have efficient tools to minimize these risks and the liquidity to help generate the max wealth and maintain these. Your current insurance reduces some of the obvious risks. This provides direct or indirect solutions to those risks that I mentioned earlier, and also those risks I discussed about your retirement. It's a life solution for a lifetime. You'll never stop building and preserving. This protects from those risks with access to cash without interrupting the interest you're earning. So wealth building and your future opportunities continue. So this provides an option or solution for almost all of those risks we mentioned earlier that can affect your wealth building. This also is solution or option to almost all of those risks that affect your retirement. So we've got that checked off. This also gives you that cash option so you can take advantage of those great opportunities to build wealth I mentioned earlier. I also have that cash flow to maintain them so that you're not in a situation where things turn against you, what can easily turn an opportunity into a nightmare. But it gives you that cash flow option to support those so that you don't make bad decisions because of not having the cash flow to support them. You have an option. This is legitimate. It's in the tax code, section 7702. Here are some of the top books on the subject matter that go into greater detail. Pause the video if you need to look these up. This is Ed Slott, CPA. He's named the best source of IRA advice by the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Forbes, Money, Kiplinger, USA Today, Investment News. He's been on Fox News. He was chairman of the New York State Society of CPAs and Estate Planning. He had it on his own TV show on public television, Retire Safe with Ed Slott. A quote from Ed Slott, CPA, from the book My Family Financial Miracle. Permanently get rid of Uncle Sam as your partner in your tax-deferred retirement savings. It's income tax-free. I do not sell. I'm a tax advisor. As a tax advisor, I'm telling you, it's the single biggest benefit in the U.S. tax code. Now my credentials, what I offer you. My name is Mark Harrison. I have over 27 years experience, and I can provide you a lifetime of service at no added cost. I provide the plans protecting your life and your financial livelihood. There's no cost and no obligation for the review. That second opinion or financial snapshot. And if you think about it, you do that for your health care. That second opinion. Why not your financial livelihood? I've never charged a client a penny in fees or expenses. Never lost a penny of a client's money, ever, even through all the market downturns. Yes, I'm a client. I practice what I preach. This has worked for me without issue. And my personal testimony, this plan gave me that cash liquidity to gain the rental properties, boats, vehicles, pay for my college education, business opportunities, supported my primary residence, and helped maintain the top tier credit rating I have, and all without once ever interrupting my interest earned. This is Mark Harrison. I want to thank you for your time, investing in a better life, bringing common sense and certainty back to wealth building. Consider clicking the like button, subscribing. It costs nothing and keeps you connected for success. Send this video or a link to someone you care about. It's never any cost or obligation to learn these wealth strategies. You're another step closer. Keep it up. The next video, video number 3, Actions Grow and Preserve Wealth, ties all of this together and what will keep you from success. I will review what you've learned, the risk to prevent, the opportunities, the cash liquidity to maximize them and keep that momentum up, the exact tool to accomplish your goals starting today, the evidence, the offer to launch, and there's no cost or obligation but to yourself of not missing out on the best life possible. You have my contact information and feel free to reach out. I'm more than happy to help. Thank you again, and I will see you in video number 3. God bless.